welcome to our second virtual PTO meeting. While we have so much to celebrate this school year, this virtual presentation will highlight second grade, third grade, and our art classes. As we head into this Christmas season, I hope and wish that you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Please be sure to use the Google form linked below our video to sign in so that we will know that you accessed our PTO meeting. Thank you for your continued support of Hodges Elementary School.
Becoming ceramist in art. For the past 5 weeks, Ms. Conley proudly introduced ceramics to all Hodges students. Ms. Conley states, "Clay is my most favorite thing, and it has brought me such joy to share it with my students." They learned about and practiced the different hand-building processes: slab, coil, and pinch pot. 5th grade students learned how to recycle clay from a very dry matter to a usable matter. She showed students videos of clay being thrown on a potter's wheel and described the career of a ceramist. The hardest part for the students has been waiting to get their ceramic items back, but she explained the many processes that clay must go through to get to its final state.
Or hurts you when you drink out of it. So, you can use your finger to smooth out the rim of your cup, or your sponge to lightly press on the rim of your cup.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm making
Becoming experts. 2nd grade. Mrs. Baston's class has been studying the 5 groups of vertebrates and their traits. They created a flip book with facts and then created a book of animals for each category. Using Makey and Scratch, an online coding program, they narrated their books to teach each other about the classifications of these animals.
So first how you work it is supposed to press earth, up, arrow.
Animals drink babies drink milk out of their stomach.
And then press earth again.
In math, they have been studying subtraction with regrouping. After solving problems, students explain the step-by-step process of regrouping to peers using Flipgrid.
3, 2, and 13, and this is how I solved the problem. (71 minus 58). It is 13. The first step you need to do is you need to look at the problem. The second step you need to do is to look in the ones place.
Mrs. Baston's and Mrs. Williams' students created treat ornaments for the wildlife in our yards, just like the characters in the book Night Tree. They completed a how-to writing piece on how to make the pine cone ornaments to teach others how to follow the steps to make their own. In Mrs. Williams' class, learners launched their geometry unit. With Christmas right around the corner, It was the perfect opportunity to inquire into shapes through read-alouds and the creation of geometries. Each portion of the geometry represented a shape that the students had learned and contained facts about the attributes of that shape.
What are you working on, Paige?
Christmas tree.
Okay, what's it made up of? Hey, Mackenzie, what are you working on?
A Tannenbaum.
What's a Tannenbaum?
It's a Christmas tree.
In what language?
Germany.
Oh, all right. So what is your Tannenbaum made of?
Triangle and rectangle.
Cool. Is there another name for a rectangle?
Quadrilateral.
Oh, thanks. So, Liam, I heard you guys were working on making Christmas trees out of shapes because you're learning about geometry.
Yeah.
Can you teach me something about a triangle?
Well, triangles, they have 3 sides and three angles.
Thank you. Hannah, you've been learning about quadrilaterals today. Can you teach me something about a quadrilateral?
Well, quadrilateral is like a rectangle, or a rhombus, and a square and a rectangle are 90-degree angles.
Thank you, Hannah. So, Tasia, you want to teach me about a shape? What shape is that?
A parallelogram.
And what can you teach me about that shape?
It doesn't have 90 degrees.
In Mrs. Rush's classroom, the students have been on a trip around the world learning about Christmas traditions in other countries. While primarily a social studies unit, the students have integrated many other subjects. They read facts about countries, wrote non-fictional and fictional passages, located countries on a world map, looked at distances from our own country, created paper ornaments as souvenirs, learned Christmas vocabulary in many languages, and looked at differences in distances while reviewing place value. Earlier in the school year, our music teacher, Mrs. Stephanie Height, led Mrs. Rush's class into an inquiry on the Pledge of Allegiance, ultimately learning how to sign the Pledge of Allegiance using American Sign Language.
States of America and to the republic for.
They learned about the differences in words in different languages and found that this was true about many of the signs needed for the pledge. They were so proud to share their learning by presenting their rendition of the Pledge of Allegiance for our virtual morning news show WHOD News and our celebrations each week. Teaching and learning through a workshop model. 3rd grade. Mrs. Buchanan's class integrated literacy and social studies when learning about the Mayflower and Pilgrims. They learned a lot of information on the topics through reading articles, and then used this information to craft their writings. Our literacy coach, Mrs. Payton, joined Mrs. Buchanan to work on Christmas writing using the Say, Mean, Matter format. This writing structure helps students dig deeper into the meanings of text that they read by selecting important quotes from the text, describing what they think it means, and then analyzing why it matters or how it connects to their lives. This helps students make connections with the text that they read. After analyzing the text using this format, students write about the text in great depth. When in PE with Mrs. Babb, Mrs. Buchanan's students have time to unwind with yoga and mindful moments. She teaches them how to relieve stress by pausing, relaxing, and stretching. For the past few weeks in math, Ms. Sarvis's class has worked on their multiplication facts. They have been completing timed tests during the week to master these facts. To apply their new knowledge of the facts, students were paired up to work collaboratively on task cards around the room to solve multiplication word problems. Analyzing characters during reading workshop. Ms. Sarvis leads the class in a mini lesson on analyzing characters. The class works together during this engagement, and then students practice these same strategies during their independent reading, while she works with small groups.
And how she is strong, but by her thoughts, actions, and feelings. Not feelings, but her emotions. Words. Good. Yes.
Mrs. Seller's students have been working on text-dependent analysis for the past couple of weeks in order to strengthen their writing skills. To complete a text-dependent analysis, or a TDA, they read a text and responded to a writing prompt using text evidence to support their responses. They added their inferences and any conclusions drawn when reading the story to strengthen their writing.
Did Henry ultimately give the Christmas tree to Rockefeller Center?
Because he knew what it felt like. Because he knew what it felt like to be. The man said that he would give the unused wood to make a house for the people in need, and he ultimately gave it away because he knew what it felt like to not have a nice warm home.
We talked about yesterday some characteristics that we saw in Henry. What are some character traits that we saw in Henry?
He's thankful.
He's thankful.
And he's considerate because he gave the tree to them.
That's good.
And giving.
He's giving.
He's also caring.